Hey, what's up? Lightbolt Joe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2012 TV movie for Nickelodeon, Rags. Now this film was only available for the longest time on DVD, and it was a Rags slash Big Time movie that came out in 2012. Both of those movies came out in 2012. And what an incredible Cinderella story that this is. This stars our main man, Max Schneider. He no longer goes by his full name anymore, so our main man, Max, and Keke Palmer, the goddess that she is. So this is peak 2012, especially for Nickelodeon. You had Nick Cannon, you had Drake Bell, you had Max, you had Keke Palmer, you had Avon Jogia, who plays this British guy who's dating Kiki's character of Katie. So Max plays Charlie, who is the Cinderella of this story. He has a evil stepfather and two evil stepbrothers, who turns out one is actually a good stepbrother. It's modernized, takes place in New York, and Charlie sings, and he wants to follow his dreams, and he inadvertently bumps into Katie, who is played by Keke, and she is this massive, recording artist, Platinum Records, and she is not happy with her label, who her father owns, and she wants to sing her own stuff, and then Max's character winds up hearing her stuff, and they become friends, and then he starts working as a janitor there, and then he sings a song at this launch party and as a masquerade, and like she doesn't know it's him, but she does know it's him. It's Cinderella. Like, he drops a CD instead of a glass slipper, and like she holds auditions, and Drake Bell's this music producer, and like it all comes together so beautifully. I'm smirking and laughing because I've seen this movie so many times. I'm obsessed with this movie. I have so many good memories watching this movie with a group of friends I hung out with back when this movie came out. And we would just laugh and sing and dance and just so many good times with these people. Rest in peace to the memories. But I think what's also really neat is how fondly Max and Keke still speak of each other 8 years later. You know, Max is an incredible artist who does not get as much credit as he deserves. He is so ridiculously talented, it's disgusting. The amount of instruments he can, control and play. His vocals, his when he riffs, and when he has that vibrato, it's disgusting how talented he is. He has more talent in his left pinky than I do in my whole being. Fact. There's no getting around that. But aside from praising the hell out of him, I'm so glad that as he's aged perfectly. That's the best way to compliment. It's, when you see a kid actor, right, and they're like, shown as like the cute, like the hot boyfriend kind of character, right? Like, that they're attractive because that's what the network tells you. Like, this is an attractive character who's not ugly, right? There's no like random moles on their face, or like they have all their teeth aligned and, two eyebrows, stupid little nuanced details, right? But most of the time, when someone has been in the industry for so long, it's a hit or miss, whether they start a drug addiction or, just keep being a progressive human and wanting to better themselves. Max is a good example of being a progressive human and wanting to better himself. His art is fantastic. He tours all the time. He has many albums out. Him with a beard and like longer hair, insanely attractive. I will stop my fanboying at that. Keke, we had talked about her numerous times. I'm obsessed with her in Scream Queens, season 1 and 2. Her playing Zayde Williams, one of the greatest characters in any horror franchise. Let me tell you that. She is perfect. She's been doing a bunch of stuff. She was on Nickelodeon stuff. She was on Disney stuff when she was a kid. She was doing 1,000 movies here, 1,000 movies there. She was in Joyful Noise with Queen Latifah and Dolly Parton, the Queen herself. Oh, Queen Latifah and Queen Dolly. Queen Miss Dolly, excuse me. She was in Akilah and the Bee. That was a big breakout for her as well. But I think it's really neat having these very humbled artists 8 years later still being very humbled about themselves. They're not like, I don't know, they're not like assholes. Does that make any sense? The other favorite part for me in regards to this movie is the fact that Keke and Max teamed up with Kurt Hugo Schneider, who's a massive YouTuber for the last decade, over a decade actually. Kurt Hugo Schneider and Sam Shui. T-S-U-I. Those are the two names you knew back in 2010. Now, they had like a big break of fame when Glee came out. When did Glee come out? 09? I want to say 09. The pilot episode of Glee, I want to say, was 09, and that had Don't Stop Believing, an a cappella version of Don't Stop Believing. Sam Shuey and Kurt Hugo Schneider did an exact version of that, of Sam and like 6 other Sams as himself, which Kurt composed, like put together kind of a thing, doing Don't Stop Believing. It was incredible, and that's kind of what like launched them within like songs, and everyone was like, oh, they can do stuff. And then every year they do like a wrap-up, so like there's a... Like 2010 mashup was incredible. They just did a 2019 mashup, I think like 3 months ago or something like that, which makes sense. But they're just insane. Sam Shuey is one of my all-time favorite artists, and most people outside of the internet don't know he exists, and it breaks my heart. My point being is how influential certain actors and actresses can be within a social media dynamic. So Kurt Hugo Schneider and Max Schneider have worked together on a couple different songs. No relation, immediate relation. Obviously, there's some relation since Schneider's their last name, but no immediate relation. They just call themselves brothers, right? It's just the Schneider brothers, right? So the Schneider brothers have done some projects together, which is pretty insane. But in 2013, so a year after Rags came out in 2012, they did a cover of Other Side, Jason Derulo's Other Side. Now, this was one of like the first... It's weird listening to it at first because you're waiting for a Jason Derulo, but it doesn't happen. And then Max starts singing and Kiki starts singing, and they're just incredible when they sing together. They were incredible in Rags together, and they're incredible when they sing together in general, right? I need another movie of the two of them singing. They're just incredible. Or I need another... I need Kurt to like start snapping his fingers and get them together again to do another song. But the key factor of that song is Jason Derulo actually comes out at the end and sings with them. So it's the three of them singing a Jason Derulo song, and Jason Derulo is actually singing his own cover with Max and with Kiki, and it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's from 2013. You could literally just go on YouTube and type Max and Kiki, Jason Derulo, and it'll just pop up. It's amazing. I think because I have so many great memories with this movie, that's why I'm speaking so positively about it. Of course, there's tiny little flaws. It's nuanced. It's a Cinderella story. I get it. But it's very interesting, I guess for me, because I know so much history about them all. And the fact of the whole YouTube scene. Man, who would it, if you told me in 2012, I'm on YouTube, I'm watching Max, I'm watching Sam, I'm watching Smosh, you know, I'm doing the YouTube thing in 2012, right? If you told me that TikTok would be the biggest thing in the world right now, I would have no idea what you were talking about. And I wouldn't have believed you. So there's no possible way that you could make a video and it would be on a bigger platform than YouTube. I just thought it was funny. Like, there's no trends that come off YouTube. Trends come off TikTok. That's a fact. Things can go viral on YouTube, but there's no trends that come off YouTube. It's interesting. It's very interesting when you think of the dynamic of social media, how each site has a different meaning. There's a difference between Reddit and Tumblr, right? There's a difference between Twitter and Facebook. There's a difference between Instagram and TikTok. There's a difference between YouTube and TikTok. I'll just use TikTok again as an example. Get your TikToks going. It's cool. It's very cool. Rest in peace, Vine, obviously. But, yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty neat how that all comes together. So, I gotta get the soundtrack to Rags. I feel like I had the CD at one point. I just cannot find it. I looked in all my old, collections, and I don't remember where. I don't think I even owned it. I honestly just think I binged the soundtrack on YouTube because that's what you did then. It was 2012. That's what you did. Good times. Have you guys seen Rags? It's on Hulu right now. Give it a watch. Pull a Max Schneider. Just follow your dreams. I follow my dreams. I'm not singing. I can't sing right now. The moon is not right. I'm losing it. I'm clearly losing it. That's all I got. Mucho mahalo.